Naruto's path to power, perfect Jinchuriki and unstoppable rise against Konoha's root. Like, share and subscribe. Episode 11. Kakashi snorted coldly. The senses in his heart for Naruto instantly dropped more than a notch, but it didn't hurt Naruto at all. After all, from the perspective of the entire plot, Kakashi's only teaching to Naruto was teaching him to climb trees. The other is to tell him that the shadow avatar can also be used for cultivation. This kind of dispensable thing, it makes no difference whether there is Kakashi's teachings or not. For Naruto, this guy is an ungrateful guy, blind to his cheap father, raise him as his own son. Naruto didn't know to come and visit after being bullied for so many years since he was a child. And now can disgust this ungrateful guy. Naruto naturally didn't mind disgusting him. And just when Naruto was thinking about whether to stimulate him again, outside the door, I remembered a childish voice again. Onasan, today's Dango shop is so lively. Naruto looked out in confusion. The young Sasuke was dragging the arm of the big filial son Uchiha Itachi into the Dango shop from the outside. This time even Naruto was not calm. Boy. In the small Dango shop, the Uchiha clan, the Naruto family, and the civilian ninja gathered three forces. In addition to the identity of his own human pillar force and the dark part of secret surveillance. Naruto smiled and looked at Uchiha Itachi, who had a somewhat solemn face. At this time, he also sensed that something was wrong, because the two of them are close to the human pillar force as the sons of the Uchiha patriarch. Let the dark department in charge of surveillance come with the smell of warning. At this time, Uchiha Itachi was only 8 years old. Just because his teammate was killed by Uchiha when he took the soil to do a mercenary mission, he killed by the way, thus opening the Sharingan. Sarutobi took advantage of his dissatisfaction with the Uchiha clan, thus instilling in him the will of fire that the village is greater than the family. It can be said that the current Uchiha Itachi is in a confused period of weighing the village and the people. If Naruto crossed a bar, he might not be able to wash the will of fire of these two fools. In his previous life, Naruto experienced all kinds of telecommunication scams and pyramid schemes, but it was just a big explosion society. Coupled with the familiarity with the plot, it is easy to brainwash a little fart who has just graduated. However, it is a pity that Naruto, as a nine-tailed man, does not have a good impression of the Uchiha clan. After all, they are real in the pit between 1,000 hands. But it is also true that they are grumpy under the influence of Indra's bloodline. Under the dual influence of the urban management work and arrogance in charge of offending people, it led to the cold eyes of the major families on the night of the extermination. Otherwise, the number one family of Konoha was silently exterminated by Uchiha Itachi and Obito, and the two clans have not yet been discovered. There is no need for that Konoha village to exist. The downfall of the Uchiha clan was the decision of the entire village, not just the Konoha high level. After the Night of the Nine Tails, the Uchiha clan was driven to the most remote corner. The ones responsible for keeping an eye on them are the pig deer butterfly and the oil woman. It was a major event like the extermination of the clan that provoked Konoha village. If it weren't for the acquiescence of the major ninjas in the village, even if Obito relied on the convenience of Shinwei, it was absolutely impossible to silently destroy the Uchiha clan. Therefore, the death of the Uchiha clan was decided by the entire Konoha village, and Naruto, the person, naturally raised his hands in approval. After all, if Naruto saved the Uchiha clan, Uchiha Fugaku kidnapped Naruto, predicted with the kaleidoscope pupil technique. The plan to control the Nine Tails and dominate Konoha is bound to happen. So of course Naruto wouldn't make himself uncomfortable. In the direction of destroying the Uchiha clan, Naruto's pillar power and the 3 generations of Hokage are on the same front. Come to think of it, Naruto glanced at it maliciously, not noticing the solemn atmosphere of the scene. Sasuke. If you want to get rid of Naruto's tragic fate in the original book, the eyeballs of the 2 pillars are essential. Himself lacks the crosser's Goldfinger. I want to break the upper limit of Naruto in the original anime. Some improper means are necessarily required. I want to become a powerhouse at the 6th level. Asura chakra and Indra chakra are the premises, and himself as an Asura reincarnated, the Asura chakra hidden in the body naturally does not need to be cared for. And if you want to obtain the Indra chakra, the quickest way is undoubtedly by obtaining the eyeballs of the 2 pillars. If he changed the tragic fate of the Uchiha clan, causing Urju not to defect, where else would he have the opportunity to gouge his eyes openly? Sasuke was covered in hair by Naruto's malicious eyes. He shouted at Naruto with a frown, "What are you little imps doing with me?" Naruto smiled and said with a smile at Sasuke, "Of course I want to be friends with you, don't you see that I'm lonely now?" Sasuke looked at Naruto lying in Sunset's red arms with a confused expression. This TM doesn't look like loneliness, right? However, what Naruto said made the dark part who was secretly watching creepy. How can Rensley be friends with the guys of the Uchiha clan who can control the tailed beast? I saw a few figures with masks appear out of thin air in the already crowded Dango shop. The cold voice of one of the dark people wearing a bullhead mask came out. Demon Fox, it's time for you to go back to the rental house. Naruto's eyes flashed. A nine-tailed chakra suddenly erupted from Naruto's body. Episode 12. The faces of everyone present changed drastically. Several dark parts instantly pulled out their bitter guard Naruto. Uchiha's pupils shrank, and he pulled his brother back a few steps. Sure enough. Uchiha stared at Naruto and thought, this guy is the nine-tailed demon fox. No wonder his intuition tells him that he is the most threatening to himself among this group. The 9 tails are gone. Contact Naruto-sama, one of the dark parts whispered anxiously. Naruto and the red arms instantly disappeared and appeared beside the dark part of the demon fox, who scolded Naruto. So fast. The faces of the ninjas around them changed drastically. The ninjas at the scene belonged to the younger generation after 4 generations. Except for Kakashi, who had already been promoted to shinobi, the rest of the people, including the Dark Division, were only at the elite shinobi level. After all, the upper ninja of a ninja village is the strategic resource of the village. Even Sarutobi didn't have the luxury of arranging an upper shinobi to spy on Naruto. So right now in this group of people, in terms of hard power alone, Naruto, who already has the power of 4 cards, is the strongest in this group with 9-tailed chakra. Of course, this is just a comparison in the amount of chakra. Under the Ultra Shadow, combat skills are far more important than the amount of chakra. Naruto in the original book had the power of 4 cards when he graduated. It was the first mission to face the Ghost Brothers, and he behaved like a rookie. But at this time, Naruto's state of eruption officially fought Shiro's chakra mode. Although not reaching the level of Ikkyo, however, the greatly increased attack speed is not something that a dark part of the shinobi level can react. Naruto kicked directly on the ass of the dark part. Run away? Run away, Nima. You are the demon fox, and your whole family is a demon fox. Lao Tzu is the son of 4 generations of Hokage. Naruto's cursing voice made Kakashi's face change. How did he know his identity? You must know that this matter was sealed back then. Even these new civilians in the Dark Department only know his identity as the 9-tailed demon fox, but not his 4th generation son. The main thing is that he was actually able to control the 9-tailed chakra? How old he is, to be able to do this? Kakashi and the others, who had attended the funeral, looked at the scarlet chakra that radiated from Naruto's body with a shocked expression. Is this the 9-tailed chakra? So strong. In order to protect these young generations, the Knight of the 9 Tails did not let them join the battlefield. Now they personally felt the power of the 9-tailed chakra, which shocked their hearts incomparably. At this time, Naruto's chakra erupted far exceeded any kami shinobi they knew. Naruto cursed and added a few more kicks to the dark part. The one who kicked the dark part spat out blood before everyone came back to their senses. Stop. The other dark part's face changed drastically, and he anxiously took out a few kunai and threw them towards Naruto. Kakashi on the side frowned. This guy was aiming at Naruto's point. Didn't he know the importance of human pillar power to the village? Just as Kakashi hesitated whether to attack now, several shurikens suddenly flew in from outside the door, colliding with several kunai and falling. Stop it, Naruto. A slightly old voice came out. Naruto stopped the movement at his feet. Everyone looked out in unison. An old man with a Hokage cloak appeared in front of everyone's eyes. Naruto-sama. Everyone saluted respectfully, except of course for the rebellious son Asuma. He has not looked down on his father since he was a child. When he became a shinobi, he ran to the daimyo's side to be the guardian of the 12 warriors, in a vain attempt to replace the Fire Nation's dependence on Konoha village. This to-be behavior broke the heart of Sarutobi, an old father who would rather betray his faith and destroy the teacher's family and the country of Whirlpool, but also to strengthen the Sarutobi clan. Out to pave the way for his son, sent him to make a good relationship with the heirs of the family such as Hyuga Butterfly as classmates, and pave the way for taking over as Hokage in the future. As a result, this fool took seriously the will of fire that he used to brainwash the children of these families. But Dan Asuma has half the intelligence of his eldest son, Sarutobi Shinosuke. He will not use the price of giving up the position of Hokage to weaken the combat power of the major families. At this time, Naruto looked at the 3 generations and sneered in his heart. Skilled in the use of the 9-tailed chakra, he can easily detect the telescope technique of the ape flying sun. His outbreak this time is for the ape flying sun to see. You can continue to spread the word that Lao Tzu is a demon fox in the village, but as long as it is heard by yourself, there will be revenge on the spot. Now what happened to me is not much different from my AI Luo. Instead of being ridiculed by all kinds of exclusions, it is better to let them be afraid of themselves. Naruto pretended not to know Sarutobi and shouted angrily, "Who are you again? Is it also here to help this scoundrel? I'm telling you. I'm not a demon fox. In the future, whoever says I am a demon fox, I will hit whom. The face of the bitter dark part before changed and he shouted loudly, "Shut up. This is Naruto-sama." This new batch of civilian shadows are all diehard fans of the 3 generations of Hokage. Naruto's eyebrows were raised, and this guy looked a little beaten. Looking at Naruto's malicious eyes, Ape Flying Sun Chopper hurriedly showed a serious expression and shouted, "Stand down." Randomly, he flashed a kind smile at Naruto. "These people are not badass, they are here to protect you." While saying Sarutobi Hinata, he looked at Naruto carefully. The red fox pupils and sharp teeth all proved that Naruto was using the nine-tailed chakra. But the clear words and stopped action proved that Naruto had a clear consciousness. He asked tentatively at Naruto, "Naruto, can you take back your chakra?" "Don't worry, no one said you were a demon fox." Naruto raised an eyebrow. In an instant, he took back the chakra and turned into a harmless appearance of humans and animals again. Ape Flying Sun's face instantly became solemn, and he was really able to control the nine-tailed chakra. This is only 3 years old. What kind of demon talent is this? Can it only be said that it is worthy of being the descendants of Buofing Shui men and Jioshinai? Ape Fairy Chopper's eyes flashed with a cold light and asked again, "Naruto, can you tell me who told you that you are the son of the 4th generation of Hokage?" Episode 13. In the opinion of the Ape Flying Sun, the reason why Naruto knew about this, either some of Hokage's cronies during the reign of the 4th generation told him because they were dissatisfied with their actions, or those big families who were dissatisfied with his return to the position of Hokage, blocked themselves. He wanted to see who dared to oppose him so blatantly. Although he didn't think the other party would confess his identity to Naruto, but what if? Sarutobi stared at Naruto tightly. Naruto sneered in his heart, then he patted his chest and said loudly, "Of course it's my father's 4th generation Hokage." Everyone present looked at Naruto with a stunned expression. Ape Flying Sun, this is really such an expression. How could the other party blow himself up his identity? Unexpectedly, he transformed into a 4th generation of Hokage to fool Naruto. He looked at the 2 dark parts who were in charge of keeping an eye on him with some dissatisfaction. These civilian ninjas are still much worse than those families with secret arts and blood succession limits. Unexpectedly, he was approached so brightly and squarely, and Zhu Li's side had not been discovered. If the enemy village ninja came to kidnap Naruto or release the 9 tails, wouldn't it be more troublesome for himself? Thinking of this, the Ape Flying Sun's face was a little ugly. He wondered if he would arrange a shinobu watch for Naruto's side. He said to Naruto seriously, "Naruto, I know you wish you had a heroic father, but when you were born, the 4th Hokage had already died. How could he tell you it was your father? You must have been deceived by the bad guys. Didn't you learn the transfiguration technique before? It's that someone tricked you with transfiguration." However, Naruto grinned and sneered at the 3 generations of Hokage with a slight mockery. "Of course I know that the 4th Hokage is long dead, and I also know his heroic deeds of saving Konoha village on the night of the 9 tails. But I am the son of the 4th generation, and it is true that the 4th generation of Hokage personally told me." Naruto said and patted his chest and continued, "Because my father sealed his and my mother's chakra and part of his soul in my body with the ghoul seal and gossip seal before he died. As long as the demon fox in my body runs violently, he can appear and suppress. And I'm also dealing with the black-cloaked man who released the 9 tails to kill my parents in the future. In other words, not only is the 4th generation of Hokage the hero who saved Konoha, but I am also the hero who saved Konoha. If I hadn't sealed the 9 tails, Konoha village might have been destroyed. And now this bad guy with a mask actually called me a demon fox? I don't hit who he hits," Naruto said and kicked the dark part that was already unconscious. That smug expression was like a little fart showing everywhere. However, the Ape Flying Sun on the opposite side was not calm, because what Naruto said is 9 points true and 1 is false. The ghoul sealed this powerful sealing technique that sealed the soul, and now only he knew the effect. And Naruto understated the effect of such a secret Uzumaki clan sealing technique. It's not at all something that the enemy village ninja, or those cronies of the era, can do. After all, the ninjutsu and ninjutsu effects mastered by a ninja are top secret. Not to mention this kind of sealing technique that hangs all at once. In addition to himself, who holds the sealing inheritance scroll, it is impossible for others to know the effect at all. So Sarutobi immediately believed what Naruto said when he heard the ghoul seal. Sarutobi smiled forcefully at Naruto and asked, "So you were able to use that 9-tailed chakra because of the help of the 4 Hokage?" Naruto looked at the 3 generations whose faces had turned pitch black and his heart blossomed. He quietly spoke again proudly, "Of course not. That's because my mother pulled chakra from the demon fox with many golden chains." Ape Fairy's eyes instantly became gloomy after hearing this. The Vortex clan's blood succession limit King Kong blockade. This thing is even rarer than the ghoul seal. This is the blood succession limit of the Vortex clan. Sarutobi looked at the show-off Naruto and a huge wave in his heart. It seems that what Naruto said is absolutely true, because apart from the Uzumaki clan, there is no one who can suppress the nine tails and forcibly seize the nine-tailed chakra. Ape-Fei Richo's mind appeared the sunny face of the fourth generation of the toolman he had cultivated, and his heart suddenly sank. A good fourth-generation Hokage, a good battlefield red pepper, and even left a hand. Originally, he didn't take the matter of Joshinai to be orphaned before he died. As a result, the couple was still guarding themselves. Chakra and soul were specially kept to protect their children. In the opinion of the ape flying sun, the reason why the wave feng shui gate consumed the remaining chakra drop identity told Naruto. It is very likely that during this time, he acquiesced in the remark that Naruto was a demon fox, which caused the dissatisfaction of the Watergate couple in Naruto's body. Only then did he choose to stand up and tell Naruto his identity and give himself a warning. Warn him not to play these little tricks on their son, and telling Naruto that he will deal with the man in black in the future is also telling himself through Naruto's mouth that they really want to protect Konoha, and not like letting their children become tools of political struggle. Even Kakashi was able to warn Uchiha Itachi not to get involved in political battles at the top of Konoha. How could the wave feng shui gate, who had served as the fourth generation of Hokage, not know those Taoists of the Konoha elder group? So the moment Naruto finished speaking, the politically skilled ape flying sun slashed all the words Naruto said about the admonition of wave feng shui men in an instant. Finally, a conclusion, that is, you can train Naruto to become a ninja who works for the village, but you can't use the next three indiscriminate means. Naruto's identity can't be less. Episode 14. Except for the ape flying sun, the rest of the people all looked at Naruto blankly. What ghoul sealed? What seals the soul? This guy won't be crazy because of the blow of the demon fox, right? Is it a hallucination? Without understanding the Vortex clan sealing technique, they simply couldn't imagine that they could even seal a person's soul after death. If only there were this technology, keeping the souls of your teammates in your own body on the battlefield is much stronger than death. After all, the rebirth of filthy soil at this stage has long been a forbidden technique within forbidden arts. What people can say after death is simply not something they can imagine. If it could really be like Naruto said, Kakashi was willing to see Rin again, no matter what the cost. At this time, he always felt that his right hand was full of Lin's blood and could not be washed clean. So no one took Naruto's words seriously. It's just a fantasy that a child has developed after being hit. But it's all in ignorance. And Ape Flying Sun, who had mastered the full set of sealing techniques of the Vortex clan, clearly knew what Naruto said was completely attainable, and no one else could make up such a clear logic. Then the only truth is that what Naruto said is true. And that's exactly what happened. Naruto is going to take the chakra of the Watergate couple to the open face as a whole card. Although the condition for the soul trigger of the wave feng shui gate is that the 9 tails open the 8 tails without a key. But Joshina's chakra did exist to help Naruto plunder the 9 tails chakra. Once you receive a real danger to your life, it was impossible for chakra of Kuzuna not to show up to help Naruto. After all, compared to becoming a big hero who saved the village, what Joshinai hopes to do most is for his children to grow up safely. It was also in order to look at Naruto when he grew up that he decided to obey the Watergate and seal his chakra inside Naruto's body. So Naruto decided to bet on a wave, give it a shot, turn a bike into a motorcycle, gamble, a motorcycle into a Land Rover. Now I can only turn on the 2-tailed beast coat mode. Even regardless of the damage of the body, the explosive species can only be open to the 3 tails, and there is no threat to the strength of the ape flying sun slash and Tuanzo. So he simply exposed the secret of the seal in his body, let the ape fly the sun chop in his heart fear, so that he does not dare to act rashly. To know if what Naruto said was true, then there are 2 chakras in his body that have the ability to unlock the seal of the 9 tails. Once they were pressed, he was not afraid of the strength displayed by the remaining chakra. After all, it was just 2 dead people. What he was afraid of was that the 4th generation and the Joshinai fish would break the net, completely unseal Naruto, allowing the 9 tails to descend into Konoha again. At that time, even if he tried his best to seal the 9 tails again with the sealing technique of the Uzumaki clan, the loss caused will definitely be used by Tuanzong, that old bidang, taking advantage of the fire and robbery as an excuse to force himself to abdicate. And now he has offended almost all the major ninjas, and the new generation brainwashed by their own will of fire has not yet grown, so Ape Flying Sun Chopper has to prevent this from happening no matter what. If it is the Pot King Tuanzang who is ruling, Naruto did not dare to take the initiative to reveal such a fateful thing no matter what. Because Tuanzang, this guy's brain is not good, the only solution he could think of for Naruto, a man like Zhu Li who could run away at any time, was to use all means to assassinate and prevent the 9 tails from running away in the village. My own Mazwaninghu is not a passive skill like Iai Luo, but a disposable. But at this time, the person in charge of Konoha village was Sarutobi Hinata. Although his strength can be described as the weakest among the previous Hokage, however, he is the Hokage who has actually held the highest power in the Land of Fire for the longest time in the history of the ninja world, and he is also the longest-lived Hokage. Its political means are so high that even 1,000 hands are beyond the reach of dust. Although he made Konoha a mess, his strength was greatly reduced. However, he developed a small ape-flying family that was unknown during the Warring States period into a first-class family in the ninja world. It can be seen from the close-up shots given when dealing with the 10 tails in the 4 battles. At that time, the strength of the Sarutobi clan was not at all inferior to that of a big clan like the Hyuga clan. On the other hand, the origin families of ninjutsu that existed from the 6 Paths period, the Senju clan and the Uchiha clan, as well as the Uzumaki clan, were all silently destroyed by him during his reign. From the perspective of the ape-flying family, the political means of ape-flying sun slash are no longer something that a hero can express. What he wanted to do was to turn the public world into a family world, and make Konoha village a possession passed down from generation to generation by the Sarutobi family. People who have such ambitions and political means, naturally, we will not simply know to stifle the threat in the cradle. As long as Naruto shows kindness towards him, even if you can't brainwash through the contrast of suffering? As Naruto's Taijikuin, ape-flying sun chopper, still has more advantages than others. He was confident enough in cultivating the will of fire air. So Naruto thought for a long time. In the end, it was decided to expose this whole card directly to the bright side. Although Naruto knew that doing so would most likely lead to a move by the old six. But a meme in the previous life Hokage also made Naruto make up his mind. That's famous, / the day, you will regret it. Danzo, I am the Hokage. As long as the ape-flying sun does not die, he can now burst out with strength comparable to Sharingan. After all, that group of hidden waves can't turn over much. Directly transform the source of your pain for so many years to come directly into a backer. This is Naruto's purpose in revealing the secret of the seal. Episode 15, and Naruto looked at the 3 generations with a gloomy face and immediately smiled, because he knew he had bet right. Sometimes the more you know, the more worries you have. What he can think of, ape-flying sun chopper must have thought of too. If he still wants to complete the control of the position of Hokage in his own hands, then he is his indispensable help. Ape-flying Sunchop, who has lived from the era of the 1,000-hand pillars to the present, knows too well the importance of a high-end combat power. If it were not for the character of Our Lady among the 1,000-hand pillars, the ninja world has long been unified by him and Uchiha Madara. This world is the world of ninjas, after all. If you want to truly control the power of Konoha, then the power of a person with strong horizontal strength is essential. Push the Vortex clan to exterminate, bring the only pure-blood clan and the sealing technique all back to be adopted by themselves. And passed on from generation to generation. It is in order to control the top-notch combat power of the 9-tailed human pillar power forever. Originally, everything went according to plan. As a result, on the night of the 9 tails, Obito released the 9 tails, causing significant damage to Konoha. This made Sarutobi realize that in addition to the Uzumaki clan, the Uchiha clan must also be controlled by himself. That's why there is brainwashing Uchiha Itachi, which promotes the birth of the Night of Extinction. Naruto Uzumaki and Sasuke Uchiha are like Nyafong and Bujiyun in Wind and Cloud. It is an important tool man for his ape-flying family to dominate the world. So Ape Feiry's expression suddenly softened, and he sighed. Since you already know, I won't hide it from you. That's right, you are the son of the 4th generation of Hokage wave Feng Shui men, the son of the hero who sacrificed for Konoha, and the hero who saved Konoha. This is said in one place. The unwitting dark part and the joint foot of these civilian ninjas suddenly looked shocked. The legendary demon fox is really the son of 4 generations? You must know that the reputation of the 4th generation of Hokage in Konoha is even more than 3 generations. In order to consolidate their position, after 3 generations returned to power, he promoted his heroic disciple to increase his political leverage. If only the villagers knew the truth of the matter, how could it be possible to put demon fox hatred on Naruto's body? Naruto sacrificed himself to save their hero. At most, it is just because of the fear of the 9 tails storming away and estranged, and it will not be like buying a mask in the anime to beat Naruto out. When Naruto heard the words of the ape-flying sun, the corners of his mouth suddenly rose. He kicked 2 more feet at the dark part under him with an excited look and said, "Here no, Naruto-sama has admitted it, we are heroes." Looking at the dark part that has rolled his eyes, the corners of everyone's mouths twitched and twitched. Ape Fairy coughed twice and said, "Alas, it's not that you don't announce your identity, it's really that the 4th generation of Hokage has performed too well on the battlefield, And I'm afraid that the enemy village ninja will send someone to assassinate you after knowing your identity. So Naruto, don't say your identity as the son of the 4th generation, this will lead to the scourge of killing, and the dark part under your feet is also specially sent by me to protect you. Now that the identity thing has been exposed, the cunning ape Hibiki immediately changed his rhetoric to remedy the bad impression he had left on Naruto before. The dark part who was originally in charge of surveillance has also become a ninja who has been transferred to protect Naruto's safety. This is to tell Naruto that he has been caring about him. Naruto put on an innocent expression on his face and said excitedly, "Really?" But there was a look of disdain in his heart. Protection? Protect your sister. Will the identity of the son of the 4th generation of Hokage be even more dangerous than the identity of the human pillar force? People in other villages are poor, that's because they don't have a sealing technique, and they run away every 3rd and 5th, and they can't hide it if they want to. Konoha has the complete sealing technique of the Uzumaki clan, the tanktail beast chakra. Since Mito became the 1st generation of pillar force, Konoha has not had any incidents of tailed beasts running away. Before the Night of the 9 Tails, the villagers only worship and respect the strength of the human pillar. Mito's status and the title of Red Hot Chili Peppers, the battlefield of Kushinae, testify to this. Therefore, it was easy for Konoha to hide the identity of the human pillar force. However, this important identity was easily exposed by Tuanzong. On the contrary, the identity of the son of his hero is perfectly hidden. This kind of deceptive nonsense can also be a 3-year-old child. And now Naruto happened to be a 3-year-old child, so he showed a touched look. Ape Flying Sun nodded repeatedly. That's right, it can be dangerous for others to know your identity. Now the prestige of the 4th generation is too high, and Naruto showed a good talent. If his identity is announced, it may be another wave of feng shui men. But the next Hokage himself has already decided on Asuma. Immediately, he looked at Asuma, who was looking at Naruto with a look of adoration, and his face suddenly turned dark. If this process continues, didn't this unfilial son become a copy of the big snake pill? It was because of the high popularity and strong strength of Feng Shui men. Only then was he able to overwhelm the previous generation of the Great Snake Pill under his own operation and successfully become the 4th generation of Hokage. If you can't do it and want to retire, if you encounter a situation as embarrassing as Tuanzong, isn't TM's embarrassing? So the identity of Naruto's 4th generation son can be concealed for a while longer. At most, the gag order that Naruto had ordered after he had gone to school was issued in advance. It's over letting this group of stupid villagers not discuss his demon fox identity in front of Naruto. But it's a pity that Naruto now is not as good as a 3-year-old child. He looked at a ape flying sun chop that I am good for you, and suddenly grinned and said, Naruto-sama, rest assured. I'm strong now. I'm not afraid of those bad guys coming to attack me at all. As long as they dare to come and I will kill one. So just tell me my identity to the bad guys who say I'm a demon fox. I want them to know that I am the son of a hero. How can these hateful guys have the face to scold me? I buy a milk and they won't sell it to me. The ape flying sun on the opposite side suddenly chopped. He was embarrassed to persuade again. Naruto, those bad guys are very powerful, although you are also strong now. But what if they sneak up on you while you are asleep? Naruto waved his hand nonchalantly and grinned. Don't worry, my dad said, even if I fall asleep, he can control the power of the demon fox to protect me. Ape Fairy cut his face black. Damn, he almost forgot about the Watergate couple inside him. Looking at Naruto, who was overflowing with ostentation, he said, the ape flying sun chop relaxed instead. This arrogant and domineering personality is better than the quiet personality that Uchiha has shown since childhood. Sarutobi looked at Naruto with an attitude of not giving up without revealing his heroic identity. Suddenly a decision was made in my heart. Good. In 2 days, I will announce your identity as the son of a hero. Naruto flashed when he heard this. Your own good days are coming. And he looked at the thoughtful ape flying sun chop and sneered in his heart. In a few days? Is it waiting for the Hyuga clan to finish knocking? Although for the destruction of the Uchiha family, he was on the same line with the ape flying sun, but on the Hyuga family, he wasn't ready to let go of this opportunity to easily gain a solid friendship from the Hyuga clan. Episode 16. Although the current Hyuga clan is controlled by the elders, but it will be Hinata who will be in power in the future. This is one of his future husbands. If you can help a handful, you still need to help. Naruto is a god who appreciates his face and lives again. It is impossible to be as cold as a bystander and see the future husband being pitted by 3 generations. Naruto glanced at the eyes that had changed from disgust to admiration, and his heart suddenly felt a. This self-detonation not only met his expectations, but also exceeded the task. Look at Asuma's indebted expression. It was obvious that the death of the 4th Hokage was blamed on his father's head. I even feel guilty for not doing my part in the Night of the 9 Tails. good guys. It is worthy of being a new age ninja cultivated by the will of fire. Naruto looked at Red again. It's a pity that because I'm too young, the teasing action just now was all treated by her as a child's play. Even if the children of the Hokage world are precocious, at least at the age of 6, he went to ninja school and began to open his emotions. So Sunset Hong didn't take his behavior to heart at all. Now there is only sympathy for the sacrifice of his parents and Naruto's becoming a pillar of humanity. Thinking that he had shown disgust because of the rumor that Naruto was a demon fox before, this made a pang of guilt rise in the kind red heart. She made up her mind to take good care of the poor orphan in the future. At this time, Sarutobi smiled kindly at Naruto. Naruto, although I am a third-generation Hokage, I am also your father's master. If you have any problems in the future, please don't go out casually in the past 2 days. Wait until I catch the village spreading that you are a scoundrel of the demon fox, and then return your identity as the son of a hero. Naruto said with a look of innocent gratitude, really? So you still have this relationship with me? Saying that, Naruto also forcibly squeezed out a tear to prove his touch. Seeing this, Ape Fei Ri was immediately relieved. After all, it's just a 3-year-old child, so foolish. However, before he could finish his joy, he heard Naruto continue licking his face and said innocently, my father said, he and my mother still have a mansion, which has at least hundreds of millions of taels of silver in it. Ape Flying Sun Chop, cough cough cough. Sarutobi was directly frightened by Naruto's lion opening his mouth and coughed. The remuneration for an S-class task starts at 1 million taels. Doing 100 S-level tasks is only a reward of 100 million taels. Even if some tasks are highly paid, they need at least dozens of S-level tasks. Not to mention that ninjas usually train by ninjutsu, medicinal herbs, and other expenses are very expensive. In particular, the Flying Thunder God made by Watergate is extremely expensive. This thing alone consumed almost half of Watergate's property. The money for building the house was still from Jioshinai. How could the two of them still have such a huge amount of 100 million taels? Where did he know that Naruto's way of calculating the Watergate couple's inheritance was based on Asuma's head? One Asuma's head is worth 35 million taels. As a 4th-generation Hokage who can't be considered a mission when he runs on the battlefield, how can he also have 3 Asuma's heads as valuable? Just like that, he also gave Ape Flying Sun a fraction. Sarutobi looked at Naruto with some embarrassment. Although he is a Hokage, he is still the patriarch of the Sarutobi clan. However, cultivating the dark part and developing the ape-flying family requires a lot of money. Otherwise, he would not have licked his face and blackened the inheritance of the 4th generation and the Uchiha clan. He didn't have that much money to give to Naruto. And the tasks in Konoha village are scarce. There are not many really well-paid tasks in peacetime, and because the Ninja World War expanded to tens of thousands, there are many monks and few porridge, and there are simply not so many tasks assigned to this group of lower patients and middle patients. Therefore, no matter what level of the task needs to be picked up in a group of 3 people, otherwise it is not eligible to take the task. That's why Matt Day preferred to kneel down and pray to his teammates to take him on a pickup mission. There is no other reason, just poverty. At that time even the money to feed Matt Kai was almost gone. Not to mention that the two of them also needed a lot of medicinal materials to repair the dark injuries caused by the cultivation of the 8 Gates Dunjia. So don't say 100 million, even if the house that Shirdai bought, he didn't want to return it to Naruto. That. Just when Sarutobi Hinata was trying to find some excuse to send Naruto away, Asuma on the side suddenly spoke. Naruto, don't worry, I know where the house of the 4th generation of Hokage-sama is, I'll take you over now. Ape Fei Ri almost didn't spew out a mouthful of old blood. This loser. That house is a detached flat in the heart of the city. Ever since Naruto could remember, he was sent away. I am preparing to cash out and buy the hearts of some poor civilians in the shadows. Naruto's eyes lit up when he heard this. Really? Thank you, big brother, Asuma said a little embarrassed. The house of the 4th generation of Hokage, in fact, you have been living there before. Now it seems that you moved out because I was worried that living there would expose your identity. Naruto sneered in his heart. Of course Lao Tzu knew where the house was. When Naruto acted as if he couldn't remember, Sarutobi had been leaving Naruto in the care of a dark part in his home. Wait until Naruto has just shown that he can survive independently. He was immediately thrown out. Now that he has identified himself, Naruto naturally wanted to return his own house. The same orphans live in a slum in the old town, and the 2 pillars live in a high-rise single apartment. This differential treatment has long upset Naruto. Of course, it may also be that the house of the 2nd pillar family sells more money. After all, people's homes are courtyards, and their own homes are just a large flat floor. But don't worry now, the stupid son of a landlord admitted it in front of so many people. That ape flying sun chop must not be reckoned. It's that 100 million. Naruto then looked at Sarutobi Hinata, and then at Sarutobi Asuma. His lips just moved. Ape Flying Sun Chopper hurriedly spoke. The things in that house have not been touched since they were taken from your father, and if there are 100 million tails, as long as you find them, they are all yours. Naruto pouted with a look of disgust. He could find it. What a stinginess. It's only 100 million tails. Spending 100 million tails to buy the goodwill of this person Jili is a cost-effective deal, and this will not settle the account. Naruto then wanted to continue with the sealing technique of the Vortex clan that he wanted. It's something he likes to do the most. However, he had just spoken the 2 words of seal. The ape flying sun chop is like an ant on a hot pot that disappears in an instant. And after his figure disappeared, his voice came out again. I suddenly remembered that there is still a lot of official business to be handled in the office, so let's come here today. Tenna, you brought back the dark part that was accidentally injured by Naruto to treat it well. He only suffered a skin injury, and Naruto has already left his subordinates merciful. Everyone present looked at the ape flying sun, who left as if he had stabbed a hornet's nest, and looked at each other. Naruto rolled his eyes. It seems that it is impossible to unlock the 9-tail seal through the sealing technique for a while. Then he smiled in his heart. It's okay, in the long run. Anyway, this old man will be gone in a few years. When Tsunade becomes Hokage, aren't these things all ours? Saying that, Naruto licked his lips. He touched the original relic he carried around his neck again. I have to say, that taste. It's awesome to be reborn with memories. Episode 17. As Naruto left with Asuma, the people of the Dango shop also dispersed. Sasuke pinned his face on the road with a depressed look. Because of Naruto's relationship, he didn't eat Dango at all. Sasuke raised his head and asked curiously at Uchiha Itachi, Nissan, is that Naruto really the son of the 4th generation of Hokage? Uchiha Itachi looked at Sasuke and nodded. That's right, he's a child of 4 generations. Mikoto Uchiha and Kushina are best friends. He had also held Sasuke to see Naruto at the beginning. Of course he knew Naruto's identity, and he also knew Naruto's identity. He didn't expect to meet Relentlessly here. Because of the Night of the 9 Tails, the relationship between the Uchiha clan and the Konoha high level became increasingly discordant. After all, the Sharingan eyes in the eyes of the 9 Tails at the beginning, as long as the ninja who is not blind, can see it clearly. Behind the Knight of the 9 Tails stood a Uchiha clanman, there is no doubt about that. Now the high level of Konoha village unanimously believes that this is a farce directed and performed by the Uchiha clan in order to drive the Hokage family down. So relative to competing for Naruto's pillar power, Konoha F4 hates the Uchiha family the most. Now Naruto's identity has been exposed because of himself and Sasuke. I am afraid that my own people will suffer more suspicion from Konoha village. Uchiha remembered what Sarutobi had said to himself in front of the memorial monument. Village, peace, family. Nissan. Nissan. Sasuke yelled to bring Uchiha Itachi's thoughts back to his senses. What's wrong? Sasuke pinned a face. Why can't you hear me when I talk to you? I said, I want you to accompany me to train the art of shuriken. Obviously he is also a child, why is he so much stronger than me? I must train well and defeat him. It was clear that Naruto's commotion to kill the dark part directly shocked Sasuke. He has always prided himself on being a genius, and he is particularly unhappy with Naruto's appearance. Uchiha looked at his brother's cheerful little face. Then I remembered the ninja battle that my father brought him to watch. The scales in his heart gradually tilted towards peace. He secretly said in his heart, you must not let Sas also experience a brutal ninja war. At this time, the two had returned to the doorstep. An equally young figure was already waiting at the door at this time. Stop the water in an instant. One of the only 3 anti-bone boys in the Uchiha clan. Uchiha saw the water stop and immediately understood that this was sent by the 3rd generation of Hokage. He put Sasuke in the doorway and reached out and gave it directly to Sasuke's brain. Forgive me, Sas gives, next time. It hurts. Wait for Sasuke to come to his senses. Uchiha has long since disappeared. Only Sasuke was left to stomp his foot in anger in place. And a cliff on the other side. Uchiha stopped the water and the weasel appeared instantaneously at the same time. What's going on? Shursui frowned and asked Uchiha, how did you get together with Relentlessly? Uchiha Itachi sighed a little helplessly. It's just that Sasuke wants to eat Dango, so take him to that store to try it. Who knew that Relentlessly was actually there? At this time, Sasuke was still like glue with Uchiha Itachi. For Uchiha's favorite sweets, he is naturally very happy. Shueishue's face was also a little ugly when he heard this. The village was already extra wary of our Uchiha clan, and now I am afraid that it will be difficult for the people of the clan again. Now that the dissatisfaction in the clan is getting heavier and heavier, I'm afraid there will be problems in this situation. Uchiha frowned. He said to the water, how about I go and clarify with Naruto-sama? Shueishui shook his head. My presence here is exactly what Naruto-sama means. Naruto-sama believes in you and the Uchiha clan, but Danzo of the elder group is looking for trouble with Naruto-sama at this time. When Uchiha heard this, he remembered the 3 generations of Hokage with an aura in front of the memorial monument. For a while, he didn't know how to solve this sudden problem. And at this time, Shueishui suddenly spoke. But don't worry, Naruto-sama has already thought of a solution. Haven't you already opened the Sharingan? The village and the clan are very optimistic about you, and you will be the bond that maintains peace between the village and the family in the future. Improve your strength as soon as possible. When the time comes, Naruto-sama will recruit you to the dark department to personally cultivate. In this way, I am afraid that we can eliminate the mustard between many villages and families. Uchiha Itachi lit up when he heard this. Really? Shueishui nodded of course. It must be true, this is what the 3rd generation of Hokage-sama told me personally. Uchiha Itachi suddenly felt a surge of hope in his heart. Strength, what I need now is strength. Then he remembered Naruto from the Dango shop. Is that human pillar force? The strength is really strong. If you are a human pillar, you can change a lot of things, right? Although he has already opened the Sharingan, but after all, he is only an 8-year-old shinobi. Normally, it takes 4 years to graduate from ninja school. Itachi Shinden was 11 years old when he encountered the root ninja while training with Shueishui. He was only 8 years old at this time. No matter how genius he was, he couldn't defeat a dark ninja so easily. So it's not just Sasuke at this point. Even Itachi unconsciously took Naruto as a target to surpass. And Naruto on the other side at this time. Episode 18. It's still comfortable to lie in your own home, sent Asuma, who led the way. Naruto comfortably lay back on the large flat floor of his former 4-room and 3-hall hall. I've been dying here for the past few months. Although the location of the slum is not bad, but the environment is really a batch of garbage. Now that he is back in his own house, Naruto is too lazy to even take the salute in the rental house. He thought about it. When he regained his identity, he went directly to eat the overlord meal. He meowed. Money is something. The life is saved by his own cheap dad. What's wrong with taking you something? Anyway, there are 3 generations of pockets to support the waist. As long as he doesn't kill, Naruto can definitely walk sideways in Konoha. Previously, Naruto fell into a misunderstanding because he knew the plot of Naruto. That's because of the darkness in Konoha's upper echelons. Therefore, he is worried that once he exposes his disobedience, he will be calculated by the 3 generations of Hokage. But Naruto didn't figure it out until he crossed over. I'm a human pillar. It is a nuclear-like existence of the 5 ninja villages that balance the combat power and prevent the fish from breaking the net. Unlike the 2nd pillar, even if he defected to Konoha, it was only symbolically sent a bunch of shinobi, casually. On the other hand, it was Naruto. Even when pain attacked the village, the first thing Danzo did was to stab the communication toad to death and prevent Naruto from fighting, worried that Naruto would be caught. So this also means that Naruto's life can be absolutely guaranteed. The saddest ending is at most like Karabi being imprisoned on Turtle Island by Thunder Shadow and not letting him out of the mountain. And Iai Luo, a person who was assassinated by the village, Julie, is an exception among the 5 major villages. Because the people's cranes were caught by themselves, and Luosha's Golden Sands magnetic escape has a natural restraint to guard the crane, therefore, Sand Shinobi Village did not look at Shoha's combat power at all. In addition, Shizuru also often runs away. This led to the sad life of Maialua. And Naruto was different. He is a whirlpool clan, born with the chakra of suppressing tailed beasts. Of course, Naruto's bloodline is not pure, and he relies on the water gate to use the sealing technique to get the hanging. But the apes fly to the sun, they don't know awe. Combined with the sealing technique of the Uzumaki clan, in the future, when Naruto grows, it is a controllable humanoid nuclear weapon. As long as Sarutobi Hinata was not brain dead, it was absolutely impossible for him to attack Naruto. And if the deterrent power of the 9 tails is lost, the other villages will definitely not hesitate to wage a tailed beast war against Konoha. The Land of Fire occupies the richest land in the ninja world. In several ninja world wars, the Nation of Fire faced at least 2 or more countries. If it weren't for the fear that Konoha would break the dead net with the 9-tailed fish, they have long since united to divide the Fire Nation. Therefore, the Wave Feng Shui Gate, which has been brainwashed by the will of fire, is to prevent the country of fire from repeating the mistakes of the country of whirlpools. Even if it is to sacrifice his life, he will leave the 9 tails in Konoha, instead of letting it die with Gyoshinai and be reborn into the wild. And Naruto was aware of this, will choose to expose the secrets of the gossip seal. There is no threat to life, just the risk of detention. It was enough for Naruto to use the chakra of the Watergate couple in his body to gamble. If you lose your gamble, at most, you will be locked up and brainwashed. Just let the nine tails pick the lock in his body. At that time, it will be over if you directly incarnate a perfect human pillar and destroy this group of Konoha moths. And if the bet is won, he can directly live a happy life with Sarutobi Konohamaru. For Naruto, mental torture is more unbearable than physical pain. He didn't want to suffer cold violence for the next 10 years. Now I have won the bet. The predicament now faced is liberated from PUA. The next thing to face is nothing more than the problem of strength. After all, Naruto knew that Danzo would never give up. With his daring personality, will definitely find an opportunity to shoot at himself. He who dreamed of becoming a Hokage would not miss the opportunity to control the power of the human pillar. And in the future, there will inevitably be a battle between myself and the Shao organization. Even if he could turn on the nine-tailed chakra mode in advance, he was not sure that he was just past Pain. You must know that Pain had just finished attacking Konoha when he was fighting Naruto, and also released the super god Ra Tenjin that destroyed Konoha. Even so, with just one Tendo Pain, he still beat Naruto and almost revived the nine tails. In the end, if it weren't for Naruto's mouth, who loses and who wins is not certain. After all, Shao Nan has not made a move next to him. So there are no more troubles in life. Naruto's priority is to find a way to break the circle and improve his strength. Only stronger than Naruto in the original book can face the next 4 battles in the ninja world. Not to mention the big tube wood family hidden behind the scenes. He didn't want to sit still and wait for the 6 old men to buy and hang it, and then take it back. The strength is still controlled in their own hands, and the center is more solid. Although Naruto is the protagonist of Shippuden, however, his peak strength had only reached the pseudo-6th realm level. Even the strength of the 6 spots can't be reached. If it weren't for Heiju saying something that was heart-wrenching, the finale of Shippuden may not be the same. So in order to truly get rid of the shackles of fate, Naruto must find a way to obtain the power that the original Naruto did not have. And at this stage, the best thing to get is undoubtedly some hot-blooded young man who runs circles around Konoha all day. Episode 19, You Want to Alchemy with Me? Matt Kai, who was dressed in a straitjacket, looked at Naruto, who was only thigh-high in amazement. Naruto nodded, showed off the custom 2-pillar same black tights that he specially bought, and said, I found that I didn't have a talent for ninjutsu, so I wanted to learn physical arts from Brother Kai. The ape-flying son who was secretly peeping almost didn't have a mouthful of old blood spray out. You don't have a talent for ninjutsu? Temio, Lao Tzu sent someone to give you the 3-body technique to take a look at you. You said that you have no talent in ninjutsu. Matt Kai also looked at Naruto suspiciously. He is a rare beast, not a stupid bee. You just beat the dark department in front of me yesterday, and now you're telling me you don't have a talent for ninjutsu. Matt Kai shook his head and refused. Now your strength is stronger than mine, what can you exercise with me? The most important thing is that the 8 Gates Dunjia has been among the forbidden scrolls by 3 generations of Hokage. Without the permission of the 3 generations, even Metke could not teach forbidden arts privately. Even if this forbidden spell was created by his father. This is also the price of Matt Kai's physical skills to become an elite shinobi. In addition to his own son, only the disciples selected by the 3 generations were eligible to learn the 8 Gates of Dunjia. 12 Small Strong period, Hinata Ninji, who is estranged from the Hyuga family, and Little Rich Woman Tian, all belong to the Hokage lineage cultivated by Sarutobi Hinata. And Shaoli is purely Might Kai, thinking of his father when he was a child and his heart was moved, he took the initiative to find the place that ape-flying son wanted. Now even knowing that Naruto was the son of the 4th generation of Hokage, he did not dare to rashly pass the door to Dunjia out. Matt Kai's refusal was something Naruto didn't expect. Originally, he thought that a hot-blooded fool like Metke only needed to show a little sense of identity. You can easily pick it up to the 8-door Dunjia, who almost kicked out of the finale. Who would have thought that Matt K would directly reject himself? He didn't think that Matt K couldn't beat him at this time. People who cultivate the 8 doors Dunjia can't look at his chakra at all, and once he opens the 8-gate Dunjia, his strength will skyrocket. Mainly because Naruto had a preconceived idea. Matt K shows an ironclad character in the anime. But if you think about it, you can know that if you want to become a superior shinobi, it is impossible to become a superior shinobi simply by relying on strength. The most important thing for a ninja's promotion is not strength, but the ability to coordinate and judge the battle situation. Because ninjas perform missions in small groups, if you let a single-celled idiot be the captain, the team members under your hand will not be pit in minutes. So although Kai usually gives people the appearance of a Konoha treasure beast, but judging from the list of tasks he performed, as well as the teachings of Tenten, Ninji, and the others, Kai's IQ was no worse than Kakashi's. Even when it comes to combat, Matt Kai's fighting intuition is stronger than Kakashi's. Looking at Kai, who did not intend to take his own cultivation, Naruto's face pulled down. His meow is not good. Naruto squeezed the corners of his eyes, and tears flowed out of the base, and he said loudly, It's not my power that defeats the dark division, I just don't want to lose my father's face. As a genius, the fourth generation of Hokage actually has a son of waste materials, which damages the majesty of Hokage. I just want to try to improve my strength and protect the village that my father wants to protect. Naruto, who was in tears, was moved by the tears. He remembered what his father, Mat Day, had taught him. The real victory is not about defeating the strong, but about protecting what matters most to you. For a while, Matkai, who was stimulated by such bloody remarks, roared angrily, "Oh, wah! Youth blooms." The sudden cry startled Naruto. Matkai looked as excited as if he had seen a confidant, crouched down and put his hand on Naruto's shoulder. "You have to remember that it is not the body that is strong, but the mind. A person who does not believe in himself is worthless in his efforts. You are a genius, even if you have no ninjutsu talent. You wait, I'll go and apply with the third generation Hokage-sama to become my disciple." Naruto was stunned by Kai's outburst. "What and what? I just want to learn an 8-gate Doujin. How did he become your disciple? And you're the one who shinobi. Where does Zhong Shinobi have the qualifications to bring disciples?" Naruto still doesn't know the meaning of Yamen Dunjia. In his opinion, this thing was originally founded by the people Matter Dai, and who the son is willing to pass on to is the will of the people. However, he ignored the glorious results brought by the 8-gate Dunjia. This is a terrifying physical technique that kicks the 7 people of the ninja knife with the highest combat power in the mist-hidden village into the 3 treasures of auspiciousness. This kind of strategic ninjutsu, how could the ape flying sun chop allow Metki to flow out at will? If it was the other ninja clan Konoha high level, there was naturally no way to force them to contribute the family's secret art. But the Matter Dai family was originally poor civilian ninjas who could not open the pot. And the 8 gates Dunjia was naturally used by the 3 generations to expand into the seal scroll. Just when Matter Dai was about to rush to find the 3rd generation of Hokage, a figure with a mask appeared next to the 2 like a ghost. Episode 20, Naruto's face changed. Even though he had the perception of the 9-tailed chakra, he still didn't see any traces of this dark part. What a fast instant. Naruto was horrified. This definitely has the strength of the elite upper ninja level. You must know that you are like the buddies of the 9-tailed iron. With the perception of the 9-tailed chakra, combined with the innate perceptual talent of the Uzumaki clan, even if they don't have Kagura hard eye, you can also easily capture Kakashi's level of movement. As a result, the person who came this time did not even find out when he appeared. That's scary. What kind of pervert did ape flying sun chop engage in to spy on himself? Naruto looked at the dark part carefully. Suddenly, I saw a pair of scarlet eyes behind the mask. Wow. Riding wheel eyes. Uchiha, stop the water. Naruto was horrified. There are not many characters that Naruto Konoha fears today, but there is no doubt that this guy in front of you is definitely one of them. At this time, the 3 battles have been fought. In other words, the current Uchiha Shueishuei has opened the kaleidoscope riding wheel eye and promoted to become a shadow-level powerhouse. And the use of water stops for kaleidoscopes is far more than that of Uchiha weasels, combined with the phantom instantaneous technique that is comparable to the flying thunder god in a short distance. Not to mention the current Naruto, even Naruto who unlocked the 9-tail seal and turned into a perfect human pillar may not be 100% sure that he can defeat him. Naruto cursed secretly in his heart. Damn, shouldn't Uchiha stop water in this period be guarding against the invasion of Mist-Hidden Village? Why did he meow back so early? How did he know that it was because Naruto had done it himself? The descendants of the Uchiha patriarch came into contact with the human pillar force. It further touched the cautious heart of Konoha F4. But at this time, Konoha F4 is simply impossible to start a war with the Uchiha clan. Because at this time, the ape flying sun slash has not completely subdued the various ninja races, and the contradiction between the Uchiha clan and the village has not reached its peak. Without the support of the ninjas, the darkened roots of Konoha's high level alone would definitely not be the opponent of Uchiha's Konoha garrison. So in order to prevent touching the nerves of the Uchiha family, Sarutobi called Shueishuei back to spy on Naruto in place of the Dark Division. The purpose of this is, to put it bluntly, to show kindness to the Uchiha clan to tell them, the 3 generations of Hokage, trust your Uchiha clan. The water stop at this time stopped Metki from going to find the 3 generations. The 3rd generation of adults has an order to allow you to accept Naruto as a disciple. You don't have to make a special trip. Naruto pouted. Sure enough, this old man was watching him. However, Naruto at this time can completely ignore this surveillance. Anyway, do you have a system, and it won't come up with anything shocking? And Ape Flying Sun Chopper thought that he could communicate with the Watergate couple, trying to find a way to become stronger. There is no need to hide it from the 3 generations of Hokage. But Naruto also knew, at this time asthma had not yet grown. Ape Flying Sun Chopper will definitely not let his strength grow too fast. Matt Kai on the side was pleasantly surprised. Nanny? 3 generations of adults know it? Uchiha nodded. Next, you will be responsible for teaching Naruto, and the 4 generations of Hokage's children will be handed over to you. He didn't want to find Naruto another elite teacher. Compared to various ninjutsu, Sarutobi naturally preferred Naruto to waste his time on physical skills, because physical skills are not welcomed in the ninja world. Even the 8 doors of Dunjia are the same. To put it bluntly, the 8 doors of Dunjia are forbidden techniques that all die together. His essence is to unlock the limiter to make chakra skyrocket. And Naruto was a human pillar force that originally possessed a huge chakra. Even if there is no 8-door Dunjia, the same effect can be achieved. So in Sarutobi Hinata's opinion, Naruto was just wasting his time, which was exactly what he wanted. If it becomes too powerful before the will of fire is inherited, it will be difficult to control at that time. If it weren't for the fact that the ninja school did not have the custom of entering the school at the age of 3, the current Sarutobi would have sent Naruto to the ninja school to brainwash. Now Naruto actually took the initiative to learn the 8-door Dunjia that was extremely powerful for people. The ape flying sun chopping nature is so happy, but where does the ape fly the sun chop no? Naruto's dream is to use the powerful healing power of Azura chakra and the 9 tails in his body to directly turn yokai into a flat A. At that time, even if the plan to open the Eye of Reincarnation is not smooth, Naruto also had a fight against the upper 6 Bandara. Matt K shouted with excitement at this time. Wonderful Naruto, the new leaf germinates, and when the new spring arrives, it is the hottest moment when the climax of youth burns. Let's run 500 laps around the young Konoha. Ahem. Naruto, who was secretly rejoicing, rushed. I want to learn the 8 doors of Dunjia, but not to death. But is it appropriate for you to let a 3-year-old die practice? But where would the hot-blooded Kai listen to Naruto's opinion? In the mockery of the schadenfreude of the 9 tails inside the body, Matt Caesar sneaked out. The corner of Naruto's mouth twitched twice. He suddenly felt that he was growing his body now. I should have come to this guy later to learn physical skills. What if it's not tall? He didn't want to be as malnourished as Naruto in the original book and become the shortest in the 7th class. But since they have come. Naruto naturally would not give up this opportunity to become stronger. Naruto then glanced at Shisui inexplicably. Immediately, he took a step forward and chased after Matt Kai.